Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission is always the same. We take the stack of sources you've shared, the articles, the detailed notes, the fan analysis, and we boil it all down for you. Today, we are strapping in for a pretty intense one. We're analyzing the Gachiakuta season finale, episode 24. So for anyone who might be catching up, Gachiakuta is adapted from this amazing manga by Kei Arana and the graffiti artist Hideyoshi Yondu. It's all about this young guy, Rudo, who gets framed for murder in this, perfect floating city called the Sphere, his punishment. He gets literally thrown into the massive garbage pit below. He has to adapt or die.
And that fall is really what kicks everything off. But this finale, this is where his journey shifts. He stops just reacting and starts acting. So our deep dive today is all about pulling out those seismic moments from episode 24.
Sure.
We need to see how the writers managed to blend everything. Character growth, political twists, huge lore drops to set up what's coming next.
Okay, let's unpack this finale. And the thing is, before we even get to the big action, the episode starts somewhere really quiet, somewhere emotional.
It had to. It was a really smart structural choice. The sources all point to this opening scene in the infirmary. Rudo's just watching his friend Remlin.
And Remlin is just stuck,
Yeah.
paralyzed, right? He's battling what the notes call his artistic demons.
Exactly, that pressure, the fear of trying to create something in a world that just wants to destroy everything. It's heavy stuff.
And Rudo, who has been so laser focused on his own survival, has to make a choice to look outside himself, which is where Zanko comes in.
Yeah, Zanka's intervention is the catalyst. He comes up to Rudo and basically plants this idea of mutual support. He suggests that, if Rudo wants to figure himself out, the best way is to help someone else first.
Help Remlin.
Help Remlin. It's this really cool idea that the path to self-discovery runs through, empathy for others.
But Rudo does it in such a Rudo way. He doesn't give some big speech.
No, not at all.
He uses humor to break through. He just yells over to Remlin and starts making fun of his drawings while asking him for advice at the same time.
It's the perfect icebreaker for that world, isn't it? It's a challenge, but it's also a compliment. And it works. The sources all highlight this moment. The tension just breaks. Remlin starts laughing through his tears, and that's the shift. They go from survival buddies to, real camaraderie.
Rudo's fighting for something more than himself now. He's fighting for those connections.
And that new clarity gets tested immediately.
Right, because Corvus basically throws the next major mission at them right after that, the Canvas Town mission.
Exactly. And they need that solid emotional footing because the stakes are about to get a lot higher. You see the crew, Rudo, Remlin, Gita, and Deer all gathered. And Corvus, their leader, he frames this as a field trip. Says it's to boost their spirits, build their skills.
But not everyone's on board. Semyu immediately pushes back, right? Thinks it's way too dangerous.
And it's a valid concern. The world below the sphere it's not a safe place. But Corvus is playing a longer game here.
He's a leader making a calculated risk.
A huge one. He overrides Semyo, but look at how he does it. He puts this massive public vote of confidence in Rudo. He tells everyone that Rudo can protect them.
That's a huge amount of pressure, but it also cements Rudo's new role. He's not just a fighter, he's a protector.
And then you get this brilliant parallel. Because while Rudo is being tasked with protecting his friends,
Corvus has to turn around and protect Rudo.
Absolutely. The kids head out, and back at headquarters, Corvus senses trouble. And he's right. The Hell Guard shows up.
And these guys are not just some random gang. They feel official, a real rival organization.
They are. Their commander, Gachiakuta, confronts the cleaners, and she gets straight to the point. She demands they hand over Rudo.
She's talking about the constant fight against the trash beasts, but really, this is about getting control of Rudo himself.
That's a high-level power play. And Corvus just stands his ground, refuses. It's this perfect echo. Rudo is learning to be a physical shield for his friends, while Corvus is being Rudo's political shield against this huge militarized threat.
It just shows you that survival down there takes both. You need the street smarts and the organizational muscle.
For sure. And speaking of street smarts, the crew starts their journey in Holetown.
And Rudo immediately goes into this, almost funny, over-the-top protector mode. He's shouting that anyone looking for trouble has to go through him first.
He's flexing that new commitment. But that kind of display, it attracts attention.
The wrong kind of attention?
Well, the most strategic kind. From above, they're being watched by Engine and Bro. And the sources always describe these two as the master strategists of the pit.
And they decide to follow along, which is unsettling.
Very. Engine even says that the big-time raiders wouldn't attack them. Why? Because the kids are such obvious bait.
That's such a great insight into how that world works. The real threats don't go for the obvious traps.
Right. It tells you the danger down there isn't just one big thing, like the Hellguard.
Yeah.
It's fragmented, it's opportunistic, it's constantly changing.
Which leads right into the ice cream shop.
A moment of peace. Rudo gets to be a kid for like a second. Something he hasn't been able to do at all.
But the pit doesn't let you rest for long. Food tries to make contact, and then this kidnapper just shows up.
Tries to lure them with candy. It's such a low-level, grimy kind of threat.
And Rudo's reaction is so perfectly Gachiakuta, it's instant. He doesn't fight the guy.
No, he just delivers this incredibly memorable kick.
Straight to the ice cream cone.
To the ice cream cone. It's brilliant, it's dark, it's funny, and it shows his street smarts. He knows the fastest way to deal with a threat like that is to just destroy the thing they're using as leverage. Remove the incentive.
The threat just fizzles out, and after that, they finally make it to Canvastown.
They walk in through this tunnel, and the contrast is just, wow. After all that grime, they're surrounded by this incredible, vibrant art.
Remlin, of course, knows exactly where to look. He points out the main mural is right above their heads.
And you get this great shot of all of them just staring, completely in awe. The art is described as the spirit of their generation, the kids born in the trash, fighting back.
But then this whole field trip pivots into a massive, massive plot reveal. It completely changes who Rudo is.
It really does. Rudo's not just looking at the art in general. His eye catches a specific symbol, emblem.
An emblem he recognizes.
Yeah, it's associated with his own last name, Sherbrek. And that emblem is directly tied to a name, Makaka Aikol, described as the outstanding original spellcaster.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, because this is not just some little detail. This changes everything. Who is Makaka Aikol?
So from what we can piece together, Makaka Aikol is basically a foundational figure, like the source of Jinki itself.
The ability to manipulate trash and turn it into power?
The very same.
Yeah.
So if Aikol is the original spellcaster and Rudo shares a family emblem with them, it means his ancestry, his bloodline, is tied directly to the origin of the Cleaner's power.
So his wrongful accusation in the sphere, it might not have been an accident.
How could it be? If you think about the bigger picture, the sphere's whole philosophy is that everything below is garbage to be discarded.
And Rudo is the descendant of the person who could literally turn that garbage into power. He's their ultimate ideological opposite.
Exactly. They weren't just getting rid of a criminal. They may have been trying to eliminate a historical and ideological threat. Rudo isn't just a victim anymore. He's a legacy.
What an incredible bombshell to drop right at the end of the season. Because, of course, they don't let us sit with that triumph for long.
No, the episode makes a hard cut. The tone goes completely dark.
We shift to Amo, still locked in that cell.
It's a masterclass in keeping the tension high. It just yanks you right back down and reminds you that the danger is very, very real.
She's completely alone, just shadows and this awful sense of dread. And then, in the final seconds, footsteps.
Slow, deliberate footsteps echoing outside her door. And that's it. That's where they leave us. Who is it and why now?
It's so brutal. A huge moment of victory and revelation for Rudo, immediately followed by this reminder that someone he cares about is completely helpless.
The win is temporary. The dread is real.
So let's wrap this up. The finale of Gachiakuta was just a perfect blend of everything. You had the character development, that real heart between Rudo and Remlin.
And you had the big organizational threat with the Hellguard.
But the real game changer was Rudo's lineage. The Sherbrek name connecting him to Makaka Aikol, the original spellcaster.
Yeah.
That reframes the entire series. He's not just a survivor anymore. He's part of this huge historical conflict.
Absolutely. And that reveal, it forces you to rethink all the threats, big and small. Which leaves us with a final provocative thought for you to chew on. Given this new connection between Rudo's Sherbrek lineage and the original Jinki master Makaka Aikol, what are the chances that Amo is in that cell for a very specific reason? What if her imprisonment isn't about her at all? What if she's being held as bait, specifically to lure in the last descendant of the world's most powerful spellcaster?
Something to think about until next season. That's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.